You ever have one of those moments where life throws you the most ironic curveball possible? Yeah, that's exactly what happened to Keith Urban. Right in the middle of his very public divorce from Nicole Kidman, he's on stage in front of thousands. And a fan tells him her name is, you guessed it, Nicole. The crowd loses it. Keith literally drops to the floor, hand in the air, laughing like he just got hit with the universe's cruelest joke. And then, he hits back with the most iconic comeback possible. But as funny as that moment was, it carried a lot more weight than most people realized. Because behind that smile, Keith Urban's world was quietly falling apart. Before we dive into the emotional final story of Diane Keaton, I just want to thank every single one of you watching right now. If you love uncovering the untold truths behind Hollywood's biggest stars, hit that subscribe button and drop a like. It helps this small channel grow and bring you more stories that deserve to be remembered. Alright, let's get into it. It was October 17th, Nashville. Keith Urban's High and Alive tour was in full swing. Packed arena, fans screaming every lyric. He leans over the edge of the stage, holding out his mic to chat with someone in the front row. He jokes, "I'm not gonna like your name, am I?" The fan smiles and says, "It's Nicole." Boom! The whole place erupts. Keith drops flat on his back like he just got knocked out by fate itself. The man stayed there for a few seconds, hand up, face to the ceiling, completely defeated. And then he flips the script. He looks up and says, "Did you say Nicole Richie?" The crowd bursts into laughter again, but then something unexpected happens. Keith jumps off the stage, helps the same fan announce her pregnancy to her family, holding up a tiny gray onesie that says, "Smallest Keith Urban fan." Everyone thought it was just a wholesome, funny concert moment. But for Keith, that name, Nicole, hit a little too close to home. See, what most people didn't know then was that Keith and Nicole Kidman had already split. Quietly, months before that show, they started living apart at the beginning of summer 2025. No public statement, no drama, just silence. But if you looked closely, the signs were there. Little things. The missing posts, the awkward interviews, the solo appearances. They'd been married for 19 years, almost 2 decades, and suddenly, it was all unraveling behind the scenes. By the time that concert happened, their marriage was already legally done, but they hadn't said a word about it yet. Flashback to June 20th. The couple made their last public appearance at the FIFA Club World Cup 2025 in Nashville. Laughing, smiling, perfect as ever. But behind those smiles, something was off. Just 5 days later, June 25th, Nicole posts a beautiful anniversary photo. "Happy anniversary, baby." Keith? No matching post. Just a lonely little heart emoji in the comments. That's it. Fans noticed. The energy felt weird. And it didn't take long for things to start cracking in public. July 1st, 2025, Keith joins a radio interview in Australia. Everything's going fine until one host asks, "What do you think when you see your wife Nicole Kidman doing romantic scenes with younger guys like Zac Efron?" And just like that, click. Keith's gone. The call cuts off mid-sentence. The radio staff are stunned. One of them says, "He's disconnected from Zoom." Another whispers, "I think his team hung up because we weren't supposed to ask that." The clip goes viral. Fans start debating. Was he angry? Embarrassed? Heartbroken? Whatever it was clear. This divorce wasn't as calm as everyone thought. A few weeks later, Nicole Kidman applies for residency in Portugal. Meanwhile, Keith's busy performing across the US, Canada, and Australia. A source tells Eager News that both plan to keep a house in Nashville. But let's be honest, that's not the same as a home. Nicole's living halfway across the world. Keith's living out of tour buses and hotel rooms. 2 lives, 2 countries, 2 separate paths. And in the middle of it all, their kids are watching everything unfold. August 6th, their daughter Sunday Rose gives a rare interview. She says, "There are 2 big rules at home. No fashion work until I'm 16. And school always comes first." At first glance, it seems sweet. Strict parents, grounded family. But fans read between the lines. The way she talked about their rules sounded like a girl raised between two strong but very different homes. And soon, that theory got confirmed. By mid-August, it's all happening quietly behind the scenes. Nicole's lawyer drafts a parenting plan. They'll share custody, but she'll be the primary parent. 306 days with Nicole, 59 with Keith, no alimony, no drama, no mudslinging. They sign the paperwork, Keith on August 29th, Nicole on September 6th. By now, the marriage is legally over, but they still hadn't told the world, until one photo changed everything. September 25th, Nicole steps out at the Academy Museum event in LA Elegant, poised, radiant, and on her finger, the ring. Fans go insane online. Why is she still wearing it? Are they back together? Is this a message to Keith? The speculation is wild, but just 5 days later, we got our answer. September 30th, 2025, Nicole Kidman officially files for divorce. After 19 years of love, marriage, red carpets, and music dedications, it's done. Court papers filed, signatures inked, chapter closed. Keith signs off too, agreeing to everything. No fights, no chaos, just quiet heartbreak. And yet, when fans saw him on stage weeks later joking about that fan named Nicole, it hit differently. Because you could see it. That little flicker of pain behind his smile. That night, Keith Urban laughed. He joked. He made everyone in that arena smile. But deep down, he was facing one of the toughest chapters of his life. So when he heard that name, Nicole, it wasn't just funny, it was poetic. A full circle moment, because sometimes the universe doesn't whisper, it shouts. And for Keith Urban, it shouted the name of the one person he'll never really forget. Maybe that's why fans loved him even more after that moment. He didn't hide the pain, he turned it into laughter. And maybe that's what makes Keith Urban, Keith Urban. If you found this story moving, don't forget to subscribe, because Hollywood's brightest lights always have deeper stories behind the spotlight.